I'm just gonna play this. I'm just gonna play this, not the full 2 minutes, obviously. I'm just gonna hit play, let you see what's going on, and then I'll comment, because it doesn't need... Let's
now
just
to
watch.
photos of
This
a
is
top
great.
President Trump.
Now, this is old, and this is, like, even older than some of the other stuff I'm talking about. So usually I would not bring this up, but because we're talking a lot about RFK Jr. here in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and play this, since I don't believe I played it on stream before.
Cabinet member sparking a lot of controversy. Robert Kennedy Jr. with his grandchildren swimming in a creek there at Dumbarton Oaks Park.
Yeah,
Now, if you're big in politics, you probably have heard of this.
Park Service says it's dangerous and illegal.
If you're big into politics and you listen to people who aren't, like, on the Daily Wire, at least, you probably heard of this.
Now's Daniel Hamburg has a reaction from people in the park and also advice from experts.
I like the environment here, but I never would go into the Rock Creek to swim.
That's because it's been illegal since 1971.
The reason it's illegal is because of the...
How does The Onion even go? You think nowadays when they write an article, they have to be like, has this already happened? Maybe we should check.
But on Sunday, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. posted these photos of he and his grandchildren in Rock Creek. One shows his granddaughter splashing water at him, and another with RFK Jr. fully underwater.
He's all...
The photo of him. I love my job. I love politics so much. This is an Onion article. This is the photo you would see on an Onion video. It's too good. This is too good. That's the thumbnail of the video that I make from this, by the way. That's the YouTube thumbnail. I might as well Windows print screen now.
There are people keeping track of the water quality. You can visit this app called Swim Guide, updated weekly by the Potomac Riverkeeper Network.
Just wish the secretary had gone to that app and found out the conditions, but Rock Creek...
The hell? Is this like an ad read now? What the fuck? Dude, what's up with
Robert
the
F.
kids?
Kennedy
Like,
Jr.
are they okay? Are the kids okay, bro? What's up with that? Anyway, holy shit, the drip? God damn. Get it, Grandma. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So RFK Jr. says that he doesn't think people should take medical advice from him, which is a wonderful statement. What's his job again? I need to look it up, actually. I don't remember. United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. Don't take health advice from the United States Secretary of Health. Okay. Reminder, this is him saying this. He said this. Let's just play.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the nation's Health and Human Services Secretary, testifying under oath.
And then what's funny is conservatives act like you're insane for not liking this guy. They're like, why don't you like RFK Jr.? He's actually very liberal. Like, oh
telling
my God.
Congress and
great.
Americans, and I quote him, he said, "I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me."
I like how she had to reiterate, and I quote, him, he said, like, she had to reiterate it twice.
Hearings coming just a few days after Kennedy also faced widespread criticism for going swimming with his grandchildren in a Washington, D.C. creek.
Oh, this is so
where
beautiful.
swimming is not allowed due to high...
The Secretary of Health and Human Services
happened?
jumped as a protest erupted behind him, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr. squirmed a lot more amid sharp questions from lawmakers up front.
Dude, I love the dissing.
Planning to break the law by impounding...
Dude, again, holy... What is with the drip? Not just the hair, but the suit that got the rings, the glasses... Holy shit, dude. What is up with this? She looks like an anime character. Is she cosplaying? Dude, has there ever been a Secretary of Health and Human Services that has been this, like, hated? Probably not. I don't think so.
There are 1 million people who are claiming Medicaid from multiple states. That's illegal. It's theft. These are the only cuts that are being made to Medicaid.
That's not true.
Yes,
That's
it is.
not true at all. That's not even, like... That's not a misrepresentation of the truth. That is not, like, a way to look at it. That is a flat-out lie. We're only cutting the fraud from Medicaid. No, they're just cutting Medicaid. They're just making it harder to get Medicaid. They're making it harder to apply for Medicaid. That's all they're doing. That is all they're doing. And I've already talked about this before. Medicaid fraud is bullshit. There is a ton of Medicaid fraud. A ton of Medicaid fraud. But it's never at the hands of the people. It's always at the hands of the provider. This is Medicaid. Well, Medicaid fraud is what we're looking at right now. It is people like RFK and Donald Trump taking it from people who need it. That's the Medicaid fraud, and that's where it's happening. Now I'm going down this fucking rabbit hole, and we're talking about something way different. I've already talked about Medicaid fraud before. Oh my god, let's keep watching this shit show.
The secretary struggled when confronted over rising measles.
Oh my god, he looked like a bad deep fake.
Corruption at NIH.
However,
look at
the secretary struggled when confronted over...
Are you okay?
I don't think people should be taking advice, medical advice from me.
Stop showing the picture. I can't handle it if you keep showing the picture of RFK being fully submerged in poopy water, dude.
My time has expired.
Oh, well then so has your legitimacy.
Damn.
All right. I mean, just to
That's
give
such
us
an old person insult. Why did they put that old person as insult as the headline? Why? Ah.
Details on that.
Got him.
Congress appropriates me the money. I'm going to spend the money.
You're not spending money, you're cutting the... That's not spending money, that's cutting it! What the fuck? Dude, his eyes are so blue. And I'm not insulting him. Just because this guy's insane, I have made some comments that may have been rude to this man's, but his eyes are very, very nice and very blue. I'm having a change of heart today. I'm complimenting him. He has very nice eyes. It's actually kind of uncanny, though. Not to switch, but those eyes, they look like... It kind of looks like he killed someone and took out their eyes and put them in his head. I almost had it. I was almost nice. I was very close, but it just didn't last.
Congressman Mark Pocan, a Democrat from Madison, Wisconsin, asked him directly, asked Rfk Jr. about if he were to decide now whether to vaccinate his children against the measles vaccine. Kennedy responded and said, quote, probably he would. He went on to say, my opinions about vaccines are irrelevant. And Jake, he also said,
Dude, why is it that the Secretary of Health is like, yo, it doesn't matter what I think about health. It matters what you think about health. Not you, but the people around you, really. You should be able to not vaccinate your kids. My view is a pretty simple one. If you're putting other people in danger by not getting a vaccination, then no, I do not believe you have that right. So if the zombie apocalypse happens, and they're all like, hey, we have to stay away from the zombies. You can't go near the zombies. And someone says, actually... I'm gonna go near the zombies every day, all the time. And then when I get bitten by a zombie, I'm gonna come back in here and not tell anybody about it. You're putting other people in danger. It's not about your body. It is about other people's bodies. Like, sure, you may consent to being in danger due to illness, but the people around you do not. Especially kids. Like, it's my child, so I should be able to decide whether or not I want to make them very vulnerable to deathly illnesses. Like, no, that's not how that works, actually.
well, you're the nation's top public health official. They should take medical advice from you. But as you can see there, Kennedy trying to handle his anti-vaccine views.
Hey, RFK said you shouldn't take medical advice from me. That's like the first true thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth.
Also, during his testimony today, RFK Jr. called ultra-processed food, quote, a genocide on the American Indian, end quote.
Did the words that came out of his mouth, were those all in the same, were those all the same words in the same order that I thought they were?
Ultra-processed food, quote, a genocide on the American Indian, end quote.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't have words. I just, that's not something I feel like I should even have to come up with a response to. We should all... Oh my god. Assuming he's talking about... Maybe he is talking about actual Indians, but assuming he's talking about Native Americans, that's a little insensitive, no? Since they were genocided.
Kennedy's not alone in worrying about the impact of what we are eating. There's a brand new book exploring our complicated relationship with fruit. It's called Diet, Drugs, and Dopamine, The New Science of Achieving a Healthy Weight. And the author, physician, and former FDA Commissioner Dr. David Kessler.
That is an insane ad read transition, dude. You were just talking... That's not a good transition. Hitler was a very, very bad man. But he loved art, and another man who loves art is here with us today. They call it the weave. The liberals are learning the weave. Caitlin Collins, she's the woman who, like, glazed the hell out of Mike Pence in that one interview we watched. This is what, like, Republicans glaze him for. He said he's gonna make food healthier. Why do you have a problem with that? Why do you have a problem with making food healthier? It's like, okay, Hitler said he was gonna make Germany great again. I don't have an issue with Germany being great again. It's just, I don't think that's the guy to do it, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I can't talk to the details of what's come out of EPA on that issue. I know that
you really can, though. You really could, but you can't because you don't know. There's no reason that should be classified. Oh my God, he said I didn't even know that. He said that he walks back his promise, but at one point he promised to know the cause of autism by September. Oh my God, bro. That's crazy.
people do in this government.
There was a better, hold on. This isn't RFK interview. There was a better interview that I saw a clip from